What are you doing? You're trying to. And I'm like,
I mean, Roger, I'm sorry.
anyway. How funny. So,
I don't like the way these copies.
Danny, so we've actually,
That's why I made y'all.
Have you way over there?
I'm still missing one.
It's not fixed completely, but it's better. He's working on it.
Still trying to count
He's
who that.
working on it.
Just one letter or two we can figure.
And did y'all notice I wrote on here the typo?
Well,
It's not seven point
just an
five,
empty
it's 2.5,
spot.
and it says 2.5 down here. Here it was wrong. Yeah, it's 2.5.
Can you?
there you go. I know.
Why doesn't anybody what?
well, why I got those in, they're not even working. Yeah, mine died, I guess, earlier today, so.
Oh, oh.
Close to the TV tonight, so
This agenda was
Oh, I
terrible.
got a bunch of them, and I usually keep this in right. So I was looking for it.
2019 school year.
I got, for so many years as a mailman, always had been, even after I retired, I still always carried a pen, but now I always need a
And
pen.
changing the agenda the day
Worked out
of,
pretty good.
4 o'clock. Don't look at me like a deer in the headlights. You were one of them.
It's 6 o'clock. We ready, Barney? Okay, let's do it. All right. Call this meeting to order. There is a quorum present. If you will join me in the prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day, Lord, and we thank you today for the blessing of rain, Lord, and we pray that you would continue to send some rain as you see fit, Lord, and we pray that you would be with us this evening as we do the business of the citizens, Lord, and we pray that you would give us the wisdom and the knowledge to make the best decisions for the city as a whole, Lord, and we thank you for your Son and his willingness to die on the cross for our sins. It's his name we pray. Amen. You'll join me in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and one and indivisible. All right, thank you for that. That will take us to council announcements. This is the time for anyone in the council to speak on anything. Please recognize public officials. Okay, I do have something. At this time, we are going to recognize Mr. Glenn Campbell. Come on up here, bud. Glenn's been with the city for 35 years. So, we want to recognize Mr. Campbell for his 35 years of service to the city.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Send me this photo.
Anyway, that's very impressive time with us. So we appreciate that.
It's a lifetime.
Yes. So, all right. Any other council comments? Okay, we'll close that and we will move to public comments. At this time, anyone will be allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council or discussion or action may take place until a matter has been placed on the agenda and posted in accordance with law. So, I've got one card. Do you have a card or?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got one card. I've got Miss Tammy. If you'll come up to the, just state your name, address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name's Tammy Fogel, and I'm a resident of Abilene, so I'm not from here. But I'm here representing Mark Lee Dixon. He's very sad he can't be here tonight because there's 2 other council meetings happening at the same time in East Texas, and 2 of them are on the agenda to make some similar decisions. And so I'm here just filling in for him. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Last night, the city of Talco was the 5th political subdivision to pass the sanctuary city for the unburned ordinance during Texas's first special session of the 89th Texas Legislature, where Governor Abbott has called for the Senate and House to pass legislation further protecting pregnant mothers and their unborn children from the harm of abortion. And so it's really important what y'all are doing here tonight. This is the first time for me to be a part of something of this nature, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm very impressed with the activity of your city. I can tell there's a lot of people who are cared and concerned, and that's an impressive thing to show up and see this. And so I just wanted to let you know that I'm excited to be here, and thank you for this opportunity, and I'll be happy to answer questions if you have any, okay? Thank you.
Okay, that's the only card I have. Is there anybody else that would like to speak during this public comment section? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public comment section, and that was going to move us to 6.0, executive session. We've got 2 matters that we're going to consult with our attorney about. So we're going to convene into a closed session meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 Government Code, Vernon, Texas codes annotated in accordance with the authority contained in Government Code 551.086, consult with the attorney concerning Callahan County water supply. And then we're also going to move one from our second executive session later, the Government Code 551.086, economic development concerning bulk water purchase. So this should be a pretty quick executive session if y'all will hang out with us just for just a few minutes, and we will return and continue with our regular agenda. So this time we were going to go into executive session.
Yeah.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
Well, I think there's a lot of people who are willing to work for the city right now if we keep up our youthful appearance like you have.
I said you don't look at 35.
Well, that's impressive.
Yeah. I'm 53, so.
Oh, he's good for another.
Maybe it's been-
20 years.
Okay.
You're good for another 10 or 20 years.
Well, the plan is 15, if you believe that.
Wow.
Well, back in,
There you go, that's right. Well,
I worked for Walmart 26 and a half years, retired in 2020.
no way.
Retired
Look
in
at
2020,
you.
and then I started working down in 29. I've been with them 5 years.
Well, that's what keeps your youthful get up and go, I tell you
I
what.
did, so it's been 31 years.
What an amazing,
Total.
yeah.
You gotta keep working so I have more money.
Are you the one that's spending it? No.
That's
That's my brother, that's my sister.
Ah,
I don't give him no money, he don't know how to use it.
that's fun. Very cool.
Where you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. What else is on the agenda? I'm surprised they're doing
Did
it
you not
closed.
get?
They were out.
Here, you can have mine.
They were all out. They were gone.
You can have mine if you want.
She offered me.
I got one I can share.
Wicked word.
I don't,
Yeah,
it's
I got
good.
one I can share.
Oh, okay.
But I just was like, man,
Well, that's okay.
I didn't, they usually
I
don't,
already read it.
they
pretty
usually
much
don't do
memorized
the
it.
adjournment right away. They usually do
Is that moved up?
Here.
the executive session's usually almost at the end
Yeah,
of
that's
it,
what I thought.
normally.
But they said this was gonna be a short one.
Right,
they'll
it's
come
just
back,
normally
and
they
then
go
they'll
through
do-
everything
yeah.
else first.
They've had them in the middle before, though.
Have they?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I guess I've not been one that they've done that.
well, I've been to just about every council meeting for the last 7 years, so yeah.
Wow.
Like a star
or something.
Well, I worked for the city for 5.
Oh, okay.
And I had to
Well,
come.
you got a paycheck instead of a star, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And now my job, I have to go to all the council meetings and all
That's
the
fun.
school board meetings and all the county commissioner meetings.
It
all
keeps
the
you busy,
EDC.
doesn't it?
It does,
There's a lot more than we realize.
yes. And then there's all the extra little events that go on that you have to go cover.
Would they let you in there?
Oh, I didn't try to get in on
No,
it.
No, they
And
won't.
I don't think they would.
they won't let anybody in there. They won't even let me in there.
No, there's,
Hey, you know, you go everywhere.
We're not important
I
enough.
know. I should just turn into a ghost and walk through the door.
Be a fly on the wall.
With my luck, they would swat me.
so they're raising taxes is what you said, or water
Yeah,
bills.
they have black water authority.
Yeah, you know what? So
They'd see me coming.
I'm learning some new things.
Or the mosquito. Be one of them drone mosquitoes.
I don't like skeeters, they bite me. And then I sweat.
Uh-huh. Yes. For me, here, I'll just actually, what you'll do, if you'll tell it to me, I'll text you, and then you'll have mine. Let me type your name in correctly. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's okay. So you're 325, I would assume? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
518.
518.
3989. Yeah. Just text me, and then tomorrow I'll get it.
That's fine. So are you here for the water? Or you here, you got a business agenda?
I'm just here to hear the preliminary plats and
Oh,
then.
okay.
Come here, and what all the rumors
Is that
gonna
for fun, or is that connected to business? Because most people don't, aren't
Tell you
interested in
what,
the plats.
Y'all have as many citizens show up to this meeting as Abilene does
Yeah,
for their city council meeting.
I don't believe anything on that.
but, yeah.
Because
I don't know how many normally have.
Sometimes it's like about
No, I'm just
Yeah.
Curious.
the same number.
That's a good
Well,
thing.
that's about, sometimes that's about 4 and
somebody
up.
says something and then they pick it up and run with it and embellish it, and it's all
Okay,
wrong.
yeah.
sold the truck stop back in February.
Out the door, or toward the door.
Yeah,
All the
okay.
way down
That
there.
is-
Well, that rarely
It's-
ever,
I
they
mean,
rarely
I don't know
fill
many
the
people
room
who
in
are interested in
Abilene, I'll
flats
just
now.
tell you.
I pay attention to it.
And
but
most
it's
of the
not
people in the
because-
room
I was
are
okay, I
paid
need to
staff,
come out here.
Well,
city
and
staff.
it's good to know kind of what's going where or what they're,
Staff.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
See the water.
$120,000 to build a road across.
It's not.
to
The road is
I'm here
I know, because they're
representing,
using
well,
it
Mark
to
Gibson,
high
he's not here,
school.
but on 912 is the sanctuary city for Warren.
Yes, and
That they're
according to
discussing.
the contract,
abortion got
we can't do
illegalized
this.
in the whole state.
Well,
The
it's
city is
not completely,
obligated
we've
to
got
do
issues
all
with
this
traffic
stuff.
and interruption pills.
The
Because
contract, I
Because
can understand
the
it.
school
There-
doesn't
Basically, there's some
want
loopholes.
people
Yeah,
to
the
drive
loopholes.
through the
Or
school.
they're
the
trying
industry is moving faster than the law.
Especially the.
What did they build that?
And so,
where-
while
when
yes,
they- when they
it's
built
illegal in
that
Texas,
con-
there's
when
still
they built that
Texans
sport contract,
and
why didn't they
there's
require
still
road
things
when they built that?
They did,
They
but the
didn't,
city
they didn't
didn't
address
build it.
the abortion
It's been
bill in
put
the bill.
off for 2 years.
Well,
Now they're
bill
going
was
to
passed
But see, that's
4
not
years
possible.
ago, and so that was more about heartbeat and,
Yeah.
It's
you
gotta
know,
be
but the
done
problem
in
is
the-
now
It
the
should have been
industry's
done in
moving
the
to where they
very
pay
back
for
when they built
abortion
it.
tourism, so they'll pay people to go.
That's right, and they shouldn't have built it.
There's funding for that, and so that's a big problem.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
How do you stop that?
Well, you can't stop it, but you can discourage,
Spend money
people
to do
from
that.
participating in the act of, performing abortion. So it's not necessarily the mothers that this is focused on, but we can focus on the abortion
I know
providers.
that
So we
abortion
can shut
center
it
should
down
have
like,
been built.
we
They have
actually
money
just
for it,
passed
and they
Lubbock
spend
County.
money they didn't have at
So
the
you
time.
can't travel through Lubbock County, where someone, it's private enforcement, so the city can't stop or from doing something.
Just like that splashback.
Civil court and resolve that.
They didn't, they
Take action to stop it,
center in there,
or
and
to
they didn't.
find those who are doing it, to penalize them financially. But what happened in Lubbock County, because of
Bunch of metal sitting out there in a park.
abortion clinic on the other side of New Mexico, right through there, has shut down and they're stopped. They're not doing it anymore because they can't get the people.
Wasting money.
So it's,
Taxpayers' money.
our problem is just not becoming a multi-state problem. So while we're, you know, and so it's like finding, you know, like there's, anyway, so I'm trying not to go in the weeds too much. I know more than probably you want to know, but,
And it's kind of more, it's not that the people are being blocked from going through, it's that
that's
the
true.
doctor does not want to perform an abortion on someone who went through that, through those jurisdictions, because he is liable to get sued because of the way the laws, the way the ordinances are set up.
So
I hope they
the
hurry.
problem is the laws are good, but they're slow and they take time because we don't want crazy laws going on the book, right? Because
Yeah.
we can have some knee-jerk reactions that are stupid and cause more problems. So just trying to catch up to it and the industries, like Houston just closed their biggest.
Well, that was
Really? Yeah, one of their flagship buildings in Houston, they closed and left Texas, so we're.
It was a plan.
Cephas, how you
Yeah,
doing?
and Louisiana's closed down all their
I'm
parks.
here.
They were good with us, weren't they?
Yeah, so it's hard
Somebody
because,
does the
yes,
best I can
the
do.
state is doing things, but this empowers, you know, just like when you see someone robbing your house. You
Yeah.
just go, well, I guess I'll wait for the police to discover it, right? There's
It'd
things
be
that
nice
we
if
can do
it
to help
stayed in the
flag and bring
80s,
attention
Yeah.
to
low 90s.
every family. And, we know so
The
much
rain
more
sure did cool it off.
about the industry
Wasn't that
that's
nice?
Boy, it
unnecessary.
was.
The performing of that
That rain
act is
sure did cool
unnecessary.
it off.
There are very few doctors that actually.
I think by this time last year, we've done in the hundreds.
Can't say the word,
We were.
obstetrician world. So we just know so much more.
It has,
Anyway.
we haven't been in the
So this
hundreds
just
in
helps
many
protect
days.
Yeah.
specifically residents
They
in
seem like
Clyde.
last year in April, we was already in the hundreds.
I don't-
Unborn residents.
Well, unborn, but the mothers as well.
Yeah, and, you know, there are adults that will coach
I see the
minor
police chief was here.
children
I
and
see the police chief was
take
here.
them out of state without parental permission, and this would address that.
Yeah, because we have school counselors in Abilene that will encourage children to have.
New Mexico doesn't
Oh, I do
require
too. I
parental
like rain.
permission.
Yeah, yeah,
They
so,
can do it without.
I like
cool,
rain, but I
cloudy,
don't like
rainy
it.
days.
I don't like what they had up in hill country,
No, that's a little
San
much.
Angelo.
You know, somebody tells them I'm your school tonight.
Right, right.
And so, then a council, in another
Oh, I do
situation,
sleep.
So then if they do that now, they can get civilly sued?
yes, by a citizen.
in
Well,
another,
I would think that they get fired from their job in school too.
One would think
Go
so,
back to sleep.
but, and, you know, what's great is,
I mean, are these minors too?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be minor or an
Yeah.
18-year-old.
right,
yeah.
right.
Well,
But still,
and
the
the,
18-year-old really doesn't need.
My mom would have had us in
They
store
on their own if they want.
But it's become a big industry, abortion trafficking.
I'm the type, I go stand
That
out
should
in
be
front
criminal
yard.
for someone.
I like watching the lightning.
Criminal, not,
Going across the
Right,
sky.
just civil, yeah. Well, the problem, and the beautiful thing is this,
some adult to get a minor to do that.
this has been tried in court and there's no way to stop it because it's civilly, private enforcement,
The
but.
problem has been, depending on the political leaning of particular district attorneys, they can choose not to
Prosecute.
enforce the law,
Enforce
prosecute.
Yeah.
And so this, public enforcement removes them from the equation. So it's a civil, becomes a civil action.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and $10,000 is enough to keep a doctor from
Yeah.
wanting to touch that.
I just am shocked at the teacher thing.
It-
Does that
it is-
really happen?
Mhm, yeah, and
Oh,
I,
yeah,
and
it does.
they're, I'm trying,
Documented.
These teachers, man.
yeah, in Dallas, the clinic would hire, they'd say, come to us and we'll take care of you. I mean, like, so there's a fine state law in Dallas. They're not
Get
assigned
some
by it,
sleep.
so, but they're promoting
I'm
travel.
surprised, cause you know, I mean,
Yeah, it is, and
cause that, I mean, a lot of the
Hispanic
Hispanic group, they'll
well,
have them,
yes,
you know, they're, I don't
and
think
a lot of it
they're
is, most
I mean, I
times,
don't know, but I would imagine that
there's,
they're
right,
probably more.
there's a different philosophy on families and stuff like that. Well, but a lot of times these girls come and they're told,
DIS is now, you know, predominantly Hispanic.
yeah, they got, they're not necessarily, I don't think, super involved politically, as a lot of people aren't, and so it's whoever's involved kind of runs the show, and so, Jasmine Crockett is there,
She's awful.
but she's their rep, you know,
She's
so,
terrible.
yeah. So it's interesting, and what's great is we're getting enough cities outside of the big places to do it, and it's really covering a lot of Texas to reinforce beyond what the state is able to do at this point. And, is Stan here in this one? Is Stan, yeah, Stan's in Callahan County. Our House rep, one
HD
of,
71.
one of the 5 ones who tried to stop the heartbeat bill from passing years ago, and so it's hard, cause, and he's supposed to be really conservative, and so,
Look at them
No,
all.
no, he
Look at
says
Burroughs.
he's really concerned.
I know, so, anyway, it's just really interesting, and that's kind of, why,
But what
why
are
we
y'all
have,
doing about the Comstock?
yeah, the Comstock's
Yeah.
another option that we're trying to,
That's gonna nix everything.
it
They're
is,
mailing the
exactly. I'm
pills
very
right
impressed.
here.
Look at you, I'm very impressed. Not many people know about Comstock.
That's-
I need to come out to Clyde more often, I might learn
Yeah.
some things. I'm hope that came across
So the
them
Comstock
in
Act
a nice way.
from
I'm very impressed.
mailing of
Yes,
items, is that right?
it's through the mail, yeah, and so that was
It's a
the
federal
early
law.
1900s.
Are y'all writing, or are you contacting
We're-
senators, or?
Well, yes, we're doing that too. This is what we're mainly focusing, this path is on municipalities and counties. And so this is a different, strategy, while also working, like yesterday, they heard about the banning the abortion pill in the Senate and it passed out of committee. I think that's right. And so they're working on it there, but it just takes a lot longer and there's kind of a circus in town down there right now, so
Oh my gosh.
it's kind of hard to get stuff taken care of. So this is where it helps supplement and protects even further than what the state law does. And I think it awakens people in their city to understand what you can do and how you can make an impact. As, you know, the local level, it's a huge. And I would imagine you understand that because you're here at a meeting on a Tuesday night.
She's here for everything.
Are you?
Almost, yeah. They asked if there was always this many people, and I said, sometimes it's just 4 of us, and
That's awesome.
it's full.
I'm sorry, I didn't officially
I'm
introduce
Lenny
you.
Brandt.
You were busy setting this.
I've heard your name.
I'm sorry, what?
Before.
What's on the end of the agenda?
We knew you were around here somewhere.
Yeah, I know, that's the only,
They're setting
And Ruth should be
a
good
firm.
here.
yeah, that's good. I'm glad they're doing executive session, so maybe Ruth will be here soon.
Oh, it's too cold now.
But yeah, I've been kind of paying attention to what's been going on out here. There's a lot of different moving parts. It's quite interesting. I just learned how to understand taxes better, so this is interesting to me, but they don't have anything on the website. Oh, I didn't see if I could find it.
How's it going out
The
there?
attorney must like call on the phone or something. While they're,
Hold on, before you answer that.
Cause I don't think there was one in here.
What?
So there's not the
No,
city
no, I won't do
attorney
that.
present here tonight, was there, for the meeting?
This weekend.
Or is there?
Next week, that's when it all starts.
I don't know who this
You know,
in.
I got
Secretary.
no
Secretary.
He wouldn't be up
Or
there.
the football.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was sitting back here and I thought she was working.
Oh, really?
I'm going back over there.
Okay.
Not a one
Golly.
team yet, because they were told the first 2 weeks to
Some
stay
cities
where
put
they're
them
at,
up there on the diet.
because they do this thing called red
Well,
zone.
but this
Players
is a
go
nice
down to
one.
Dallas Cowboy Stadium and play.
I won't be able
So
to
they have to
quote
like
you
and
anymore
stuff.
in
One person selects money for
the
all the
paper,
teams.
since you're running.
Oh,
Yeah.
If I give you space, I have to give all of them space.
oh, I got you.
Will they get to speak on that?
Fundraising and everything, yeah, so we don't get
So don't say anything
I
really
don't know, I
interesting.
didn't know if there was any.
I don't know what they're gonna do. Hey, barely need.
They have somebody else
It
running?
doesn't
We're
say
not gonna
anything
get another
about
vote on
that. That's why I spoke
that.
early. And I didn't want to
You're
speak
not
early
gonna
on, but I
get
just wanted
another
some
vote.
opportunities. Well, but it didn't say, so.
There should still be
maybe I
another
should ask.
subcommittee, because,
Well,
they had, public works.
Rogers filed for mayor.
and it's hard when people ask.
Roger filed for mayor.
But Paul hasn't refiled.
So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Right here.
They got a lot of work to do.
Well, I didn't
I
want
knew
to,
his wife wasn't here. Hot on the ideas.
where,
Yeah,
that's before.
trying to keep up with him.
Before
But Connie will
That's the one that already,
bring it up tonight because she has to softball leg.
public comment, public hearing.
So in typical step, they would say, oh, you want to talk about 12?
She may wait until
And they didn't.
after the 18th.
So that's okay. Everyone's different.
For them to call the election.
Because they
Did
came
it
out
ask you
with
what
yours.
item you want to speak on?
Like, there's 2 sides. Hopefully not gonna look at it.
I've been out there
I've got a school board member on Thursday from your randomly election. Because they're trying to
Well, I've known about it about,
Which one do you
and
want?
so I've been anxiously waiting
Oh, Bear, okay.
They passed one a couple of years ago. They're almost finished with all.
That's okay, you'll understand.
Because most of them are
He
moved
didn't
on
say
to football,
anything when I
right?
talked to him, so he did like, I think.
At their last
I don't think
meeting, the financial guys
he knows
together.
you're steady at it.
Educate the public, educate the public.
Yes, ma'am.
I can imagine.
If you just give them the facts, most of them are smart enough to make it right.
I think we need to push for that.
That's why it's Everybody actually does that. It's TV news.
I have it there my TV for present too, and I never watch the news.
Heck, no, but I'd like to have it though for my kids.
Oh, yeah, they care more of the social aspects of having good facts.
You had a little bit more freedom.
And my friends are both Republicans, and they keep their TV on the news channel all day, and it's like, don't you get tired of watching? Well, when you're in the military and overseas, this is the only way you can get news. But you're not, you've been retired.
In fact, they put in,
Let it go.
Right.
Watch an old movie if you've got it.
I think they can get news just talking to whoever they got serving overseas. Family, I'm like,
They made
FaceTime
some,
and all that.
and they handed them out earlier. I'll offer you mine.
No, I don't want yours.
I got cheap numbers. When they do this, I make notes and I put it in my file.
Okay, okay.
That way, if it's something I need to do, I have it, I can just mark it down, put it in my file.
Oh, that's great. I gotta remember
that had
next time.
started, because they
I picked up that habit of marking them in when I was the city manager in Monday.
Really?
Or just has a good.
I was 3 years, I was city manager.
That's why you're so good at what you do.
No, I'll tell you this much, I know I don't want to be a city manager again.
That's why nobody would take the job. Nobody wanted to be the city manager.
I know, it's the highest paid job in the city.
Yeah, but with it comes on a lot of regulations.
Yeah. Really know the wonderful.
Everything in Clyde is
It's just hard to work where I work.
Yeah, and it's hard.
All right, kids, come on.
So you talked about doing water system executive session, right?
On that chair.
He like,
When you get out, you back there, back there.
I've been at it all day because my deadline was noon today, and tonight we'll have to go home, and I'll have to help with the paper bills. And I don't have anything on the calendar.
Don't answer the phone. You're 74, when do you start, when do you turn 75?
I just turned 74 a couple weeks ago.
Well, you get a few weeks over now. I'll be 74 in September.
Yeah, he's my,
What'd you do in the military?
I'll be 75 in September. I'm a year and 10 days.
Yeah.
I brought him around too.
That's what we're supposed to do with younger brothers. Yeah, my baby brother turned 65 today, and I've given him grief all day long.
Oh, this one, you don't call him your baby brother, you call him your little brother, but not baby brother.
Baby. You don't call me baby brother. I might be younger brother, not baby.
Sure.
I don't know, you get milk in that baby.
But I'm a younger brother.
yeah, that's right. When I need
That's a good, I need a waiter. I'm the middle kid.
I'm the bottom one.
You're the middle one?
We have
I'm the
an older
youngest.
sister. Yeah, he had two older sisters.
Well, yeah, we don't get
You're the youngest?
much, but we know about it. We know.
I have actually two younger sisters, four girls, my poor dad. But my baby sister was born when I was 15. So it's like she was my kid. Just like having another family.
Terry.
Yeah, it is. Harry's pretty much safe.
Yeah.
You came in and checked on my, please, you came in and checked on my blind
That's
cat.
good.
Go ahead.
Because,
Blind
yeah,
cat.
that's all I do is play. Yeah, well, that's good.
Blind cat. Remember you?
Well, what's funny is, you know, I was really
City regulations or
and when they found it out, I ran for
Yeah,
council
exactly.
in May,
When he-
and I didn't.
Why
No, I
did
didn't
he
win.
take him?
It's okay, I did the
Why
hard.
did he take
No,
him?
it wasn't meant to be, but, so then I tried to figure out what I wanted to do next, so I'm
I let him out,
almost every council member and just
Oh,
said, this is my goal, this is what I'm gonna accomplish.
I got
It made me look
you come down and you did grab a swirl of good.
so,
The primary goal is not to become a city council.
The girl.
the private to do to me, right, just like really wanted it. But I met with them, through meeting with them.
He's been blind for about 2 years. He's a
Yeah, I
wild
said,
cat.
I mean, I just do that, and we did that.
Yeah.
And remember, I mean, like, it's crazy because it's like,
Been
we're
feeding on a couple
discouraged.
times.
We're
Yeah.
discouraged because we don't.
He decided you were all right if he was getting it.
Yeah, well, we got it.
Oh,
Killed one of the dogs. But I couldn't. The dog that killed was found his way up there.
y'all live out
Animal
there.
control came looking for the dog. Got shot.
Oh,
The other dog,
That's impressive. And I know you worked really hard to make that the standard, right?
and I was, don't say that, don't say that.
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. That's cute. That's amazing.
Brady, I sent Will stuff.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it timed out when you put in the new password, or put in the password. And the password is.
I'm the opposite. I just say what I think, and I realize, oh, a lot of people think that. And yeah, I wasn't supposed to think, I mean, like, it's funny, I'm like, this is how it should be. And they're like, no one else agrees with you. It's like, what? How can, you know what, like, it's just this. Yeah, anyway, but, that's fun. I'm glad to connect with you. I'm glad to connect with you.
When you come back, you say,
Summer's almost over for you, dude.
they brown about my car.
Summer's almost over.
Yeah, you know. Let him got those fisherman friends. You got those fisherman friends.
Yes,
Good, don't they?
they keep me from coughing quite so much.
Hey, Bo.
They don't taste that great as they were.
Hey, if it's time to be gone, that would be the time to be gone.
Glad to see you here. I saw you get up there, I think you got to go and
You're not lying, dude.
I thought maybe you got to go into council meeting with them.
Oh, you still have some basketball going on.
See that?
I'm just running for council.
Not too that bad.
Okay.
I know.
We'll be, Saskatoon, November 5th. Actually, November 4th.
Is it the fourth?
Yeah.
You got there right.
That's good. Well, and again, it tells us this stuff.
Right by my foot.
If it's like, I just discovered. Tax break, they really want to just
Find another one.
it's like, tell someone, says, that's not right. They just,
Committee park meeting.
it's important.
I had a video of it one time.
Y'all don't live out there where all those 9 dogs are roaming around.
There's some on the agenda tonight for that.
I live in the city, I live on Main Street.
What's that?
Oh, the community park,
Renaming?
yeah, that's gonna be part of the whole thing. I know that,
The problem is
that's
that
talking about here.
Now there's no choice.
Possibly going to park, kind of tied in with the school. Haven't actually have it,
yeah, they're bad about that.
you know, creating like a 501c to
Oh, it went away.
raising money for the park and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know that about me.
Yeah, and you know, you can do the fast form, 501c3. Get it through quickly.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Down at First Financial, Jim Bob can help you with that. He knows all about it.
Yeah, David, I know, he talked to Jim Clyde over there.
It'd take one
But he set up the, I think, he set up the account with Jim. He gave it Megan.
Probably real keen sense of smell.
Yeah, everything
It takes longer
It's like
to
a
open.
since August, I
Say that all the time.
Yeah. At one time, somebody had suggested
Those very often.
naming it the
I'll take a picture of
Ferdinand Johnson.
That's awesome.
She was a well-known school teacher. In fact, she's the reason I'm a writer.
That's awesome.
She knew English,
Down here.
and you didn't get out of her class like she was sentences, and you could conjugate, you knew all the parts of speech. You have the right.
It's an iron for me.
It is. I had to read a book yesterday. Thankfully, it was a short one, a 2-hour book. And email the author back with all the corrections. But she appreciates it. I mean, she's always like, oh, thank you. I don't pick the book out that's not right. And then I'm always, thank you, I appreciate your money.
Yeah, we're getting to a point where people won't know how to write without ChatGPT. ChatGPT uses a lot of archaic stuff, like, the M dashes, for example. I mean, it's like, yeah, they use it in literary works, but like for just writing, you know, like a school paper or something.
A friend gave me a computer, he got a drawing, so he gave me his desktop because mine was on his last legs. And when I pulled up Word, he had turned on all the little symbols. And I said, why? Because when I was grading student papers, I wanted to make sure everybody was right. So you can tell that by looking at it. Can you tell the difference between somebody who spaces over for a paragraph indent and somebody who hits a tab? I said, yes, the kerning is different.
We waited for you. Just kidding. I mean, I will say God ordained the
Reset
meeting.
all his
video.
I was cussing him on one side and down the other. I mean, that's annoying to me.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, and also,
I'm a big fan of tabs because everybody can set their own tablets.
Yeah.
So I like 3 spaced tabs, but some people play with a default of 8.
Most people anymore default to 5.
so again,
And that's okay.
I do a lot of programming, so 3 is.
Oh, I
You
hate
get to stuff where, you know, that goes way over.
I was sharing this today.
Programming was one of my least favorite tasks, but when you get a degree in computer science, you don't have a choice.
There you go.
I'm afraid something, did you check, make sure you said the money was there?
A lot of math and
Did you
programming.
get it worked out?
And I'm not a math person. If I have to do too much math, it makes me nauseous.
Okay, I'll get your
And then
number.
people laugh at me when I say that, but it's true. It makes me nauseous.
I do lots of,
Put it on our app, she didn't say.
what is it? On Tarpon State out there, took a lot of physics courses and stuff.
Let me just show you real fast.
They,
This is where I started.
physics really wasn't stuff I took wasn't.
So this is me
Just
in
staff was more
2022, holding up signs, trying to get signatures.
My ex was a physics professor
Elementary school.
and
Those signs and some
take,
well, yeah, when I was just
he called them cowboy physics.
We know that they're at the end
It's what the non-majors took.
Oh, I got you.
And then he would, you're too late for that.
already commented.
My name.
I already commented because they didn't tell me to comment.
Take the test.
So, anyway, I
And
kind
I had a
of
passing
probably
grade in this class.
commented too early, but,
Go to
you
the
know,
class.
you can only
That's
do what
okay,
you
my
can.
wife took this test.
Yeah, there's another
And she made a
place.
72.
So it's good, I'm glad. I was thinking you should miss that, but apparently to do a different year and.
Surely you can.
Anyway, so a sweet couple decided to pay for me to have official signs. So I stood outside
kinda enjoyed that.
in front of, over at Chick-fil-A over in
Oh, I
South.
enjoyed the astronomy class, I do.
I got more signatures there than I.
And that was pretty much mostly physics, but it was,
Anyway, so that was fun. I got
I had to
see-
take chemistry.
So that's,
Because I got a
saying
degree
that,
in
but that opened the doors for me to.
It was okay.
Well, I realized that,
But if I don't ever have to do that again, it's okay.
well, and I realized that people didn't know how to stand up and raise. We'd all been taught.
I'm more on the other side of the line. I'm a writer and an artist.
She said, "Preach." I said,
I'm an artsy artist.
it's almost getting to the point where I'll post something online, like in some of the forums I go to,
It's
I
only
almost
for
have
you,
to,
it's not changed, you know?
almost get to the point where I'm thinking, man, some days, one of these days I might have to misspell something, so I don't think it's ChatGPT.
Anyway, so I realized the sign we were signing was
I see a misspelled word in a post and I cringe.
very
And I
devastating
wanna
at first, but.
correct it, but you can't correct it. And it would be rude of me to comment and correct them.
All right.
That's the shortest council.
Well, we didn't want to keep you away from this.
Thank you.
We have another one coming up.
Yeah, this is a multi-level layered approach.
Trying to be respectful of everybody's time.
It's not that organized.
This'll help.
Your brain.
I played golf this morning, I came in, and,
Yep.
something blew in with,
Oh, yeah.
that didn't. Wasn't gonna quit.
You have a big pie.
I may be wrong, so. All right, so it is 6:40 and we are back in open session. So that will take us to 7.0 consent agenda. Consider and act upon approving minutes from the regular meetings of July 8th, 2025, July 22nd, 2025, and the special meeting of August 5th, 2025 as printed.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of July 8th, July 22nd, and August 5th of 2025.
I got a motion by Councilman Mann, a second by Councilman Ray. All those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously. Brings us to 8.0, public hearing. 8.1, notice of public hearing on property located at lots 130 and 140, a preliminary replat of lots 13, 14, and 15, Charles Reeves Addition, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. Request is to replat this property. The property is currently zoned as neighborhood residential. The public hearing will be held at Clyde City Hall, 2222 Oak Street on today, 8/12/2025 at 6 p.m. So with that, we will take any public comments on this replat. Okay, seeing nothing in that one, we will close that and move to 8.2. Notice of a public hearing on property located at Abstract 30, Section 53, BB and C survey, south side of I-20, 35 acres, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, 169252 Chaz Crowley acres, 74.770, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, and abstract 1492, section 52 J.C. McCombs, 50.742 acres. Request is to preliminary replat this property. The public hearing will be held at Clyde City Hall, 222 Oak Street on 8/12/2025, 6 p.m. Anybody would like to speak to that public hearing? Okay, seeing no comments on that, we will close 8.2. That will move us to 8.3, rezone notice of public hearing on property located at abstract 30, section 53, BB, and C, survey, 35 acres, city of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. 1693-52 Chaz Crowley, 74.77 acres, city of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, and abstract 1492, section 52 J.C. McCombs, 50.742 acres. Request is to rezone this property back to planned development. The public hearing will be held at Clyde City Hall, 222 Oak Street, on 8/12/2025 at 6 p.m.
Paul, what is this being rezoned to?
Planned development.
Planned
So
development.
you can put anything, whatever they decide to put on those properties, that's what they can do. Then we can make the final ones that we can check.
Do we get a say into what is put there or not?
Is it what now?
Do we have a say as to what's put there or not?
No, we don't know. I mean, all we're gonna do is plan develop it so that they can, whatever they need to put in those areas. Of course, it's next to a new residential improvements and all that, so.
Okay. Any other comments about this rezoning request? Okay. Seeing none, we will move to 8.4, a variance request by Mary Booth on property located at 1718 Friar Court, Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. The request is to authorize a variance for 7.5 feet over the required 25-foot property line setback.
Paul, it's actually 2.5 feet. It's a typo. I gave you a thing.
Okay, it's 2.5 feet over the required 25-foot property line setback. On October 13th, 1977, the city of Clyde approved a 25-foot property line setback for the front of the house to the property line. We have since changed this requirement to 20 feet in this area. The 25-foot setback expired many years ago, but it did come up in a title search for this property. This house is set 17.5 feet from foundation to property line. The new requirements call for a 20-foot setback in the front from foundation to property line. Request is to authorize a 2.5 foot over the required 20-foot property setback. This hearing will be held at Clyde City Hall, 222 Oak Street on August 12th, 2025, 6 p.m. Does anybody have any comment on this variance, the variance request? Okay, seeing none, we will close out 8.4, and that will move us to our regular agenda. 9.1, consider and act upon approving the preliminary replat of properties located at lots 130 and 140, a preliminary replat of lots 13, 14, and 15, Charles Reeves Edition, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. And that I will refer to Mr. Brown or Mr. Davis to fill us in on this.
Well, basically, that is just those three sections right there. Mr. Reeves recently sold a piece of his property right there. This cleans up that line, the delineation of those lines of the properties that he has left, makes it into that one property right there. Just, it's all his property, it stays his property. It doesn't affect the neighbor that he sold the other piece of property to. So this just cleans up his property.
And it's still gonna be residential, isn't that correct?
It's not, nothing's changing as far as it goes, it's just making his properties one.
Any other questions for Mr. Brown or Mr. Davis? Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the preliminary replat.
I'll make a motion that we, approve the preliminary replat of that property.
Okay,
Second.
okay, got a motion by Councilman Rector, second by Councilwoman Jolly. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. 9.2, consider an act upon approving the preliminary replat of property located at Abstract 30, Section 53, BB and C Survey, 35 acres, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, and 1693-52 Chaz Crowley, 74.77 acres, Clyde, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, and Abstract 1492, Section 52 J.C. McCombs, 50.742 acres. Once again, Mr. Brown.
This is that land out around the Hanner Sports Complex, south of Access Road. Basically what it is this is just replatting that land for hopeful future development, for sale of that land and for development out there. This will make it easier for the possibility of sale.
So that's gonna put it in one big piece, correct?
Yeah, that's all, it's all one piece out there now. That's why this is divided up into several of these different sections like that. So, and all those different people on that. This will put it in a section that will allow it to be, developed and hopefully, like I say, sold.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Brown or Mr. Davis on this? Okay. If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the preliminary replat of all this land.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary replat.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay, motion by Councilman Mann, second by Councilman Rector. All those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously. 9.3, consider an act upon approving the rezoning of property located at Abstract 30, Section 53, BB and C Survey, 35 acres, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, 1693-52 Chaz Crowley, 74.77 acres, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, and Abstract 1492, Section 52 J.C. McCombs, 50.742 acres. The request is to rezone this property to planned development.
Sorry, you had to read that whole thing all over again.
But like hopefully the last.
This is that same piece of property. This is changing the zoning into planned development, which again allows for development out there, again, pushing it towards sale and development. So all this is just rezoning it to a planned development.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Brown or Mr. Davis on this? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the rezoning of this property.
I'll make a motion that we approve the rezoning of the property that you so eloquently described.
Okay,
I'll second it.
motion by Mr. Rector, second by Mr. Mann. All those in favor?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. 9.4, consider and act upon approving the variance on property located at 1718 Friar Court, Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. The request is to authorize a variance for 2.5 feet over the required 25-foot property line setback.
And again, you know, we went through all the numbers on that, and when it changed here a while back, this variance has no effect, no ill effect on any of the neighbors, anybody around this. It just simply allows them, Terry, what, on Why did this first come up to us?
So when they did title search on the property, they actually researched it way further back than most people do, but they searched it back and they found where the property had been done way back in, seventies, but, what it is the house sits so close to the line that it doesn't meet the 20 or the 25-foot setback. So, now going over there and looking at the property, you're not gonna notice it by the way it's set up, because there's a cul-de-sac in it, and the mailbox sits right there at the edge of the road, and there's, like I say, there's 17 and a half feet from the edge of the house to the edge of the road.
It's not gonna affect the city easement or anything?
We don't have
like that?
services there, all the services are in the alley. So, everything's good there, we're completely out of it. As a matter of fact, I'm afraid that if any of the other two houses sell on either side, we'll be looking at the same thing with both of them.
Okay.
And it has, no ill effect or, no problems for the city or for the neighbors there.
Okay. So, anybody have any other questions for Mr. Brown or Mr. Davis?
Being that far back, wouldn't it have been grandfathered in anyway?
No,
No?
No.
when you change the ordinance, it has to be conformed to that setback.
Okay. If there's no other questions for them, I will entertain a motion to approve the variance.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Okay. Okay. A motion by Councilman Mann, second by Councilman Rector. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. 9.5, consider and act upon an ordinance of the City of Clyde, Texas, amending Chapter 3 Building Regulations by adding Article 3.07, Contractor Registration, requiring contractors working within the city to register with the city, providing a penalty, amending Chapter FS fee schedule to add a fee for said registration, providing repealer and severability clauses, and providing an effective date. Mr. Brown.
This goes back to last month, one of the things we discussed, and we got clarification and straightened out on that. So this action, it just allows the city to require contractors to register with the city and provide proof of insurance. And this we feel protects the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens. It ensures that contractors are following all the requirements and standards. It's a nominal fee. It's $25 a year. The way it's set up is no matter what time that a contractor purchased it, if they purchased it in October, it'd be $25. It would expire in December. If they purchase it in January, it'd still be $25. It would still expire in December, so.
And this will not affect the new construction, correct?
Does not affect the new
builder will pull
construction.
Permit, everything's good.
No, yeah, that's all good, and again, the discussion we had last month, and we were able to get that all straightened out, or a couple weeks ago, was the fact that the wording was actually a little bit different, and it was that all contractors. And this clears it up to where the contractor of the job is actually responsible for all of his subcontractors. So that's what, and that's been a good point, it was brought up, out in the audience, that was a good point. And so we went back and looked at that and realized that that is the way it was. This works out a lot cleaner that way, so.
Right, and the guys out there doing the small repairs and everything, it won't apply to them if they're not a contractor that would be required to pull a permit.
Right. Yeah, so
if they're doing work and they're not pulling a permit, it doesn't affect them, is that correct?
That's the way I read it.
yeah, like I can go over there and do certain things at my property, and certain things don't require permits, certain things do require permits, but I'm not a contractor, so I'm not working commercially for somebody else, so,
But, I mean, if I pay someone to paint my house, that's not something I would pull a permit for.
So you don't have to have it.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
So Roger, along that line, the person he hires to paint his house, do they have to be registered as a contractor?
No, he could hire me to paint his house if he trusted me with a paintbrush. And I wouldn't either. My wife doesn't, so no, but I wouldn't be a contractor, I wouldn't be doing it commercial, I mean, for whatever acts there. But now, if he went out and hired, and if I had a company, brown house painting and stuff, then as a contractor at that point, I would have to pull a permit on it, so.
So even if it's like a one-person company, they have to do,
Or if
I'm
it-
asking for someone that
No,
has
and that's
it.
fine, yeah, if they're operating as a company, if they're registered, they're licensed, they're operating as a business, they will be required by the city to come pay that $25 registration fee, yeah. So,
Is that gonna be, do they have to start doing that now?
if council
This far
passes
into
it,
the year?
yeah, if council passes it, it will go into effect, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but right this second, it's not a thing.
Okay.
It in a way protects you, so if you want to hire a contractor, they'll have to have it, and that kind of helps you know how they are.
And
Yeah,
that's the
I'm not
main thought.
objecting to it, just asking for someone that
Right,
knows.
right, absolutely.
And that, I think that's the main thought behind it, because we hear so many horror stories of
Right.
contractors coming in and then disappearing. You know, and there's, the city can't help, because we don't know who they were, where they're located, how to contact them even, or if they have insurance. But now, we'll at least have that information on file. So it does help in tracking down some of those guys that aren't quite as honest or as forthright as they should be. So,
Want that kind of require the citizens know that, so if somebody comes to their house and says, you got a limb in your tree I need to take down for you, I can do that for this amount. Is that, wouldn't the homeowner need to know, are you registered in the city?
You can ask.
The homeowner, it would be at your discretion as a homeowner whether or not you wanted to hire some guy that just showed up in your yard.
That's what
And that happens a lot. At that point, you know, that's a very good reason why you could say, well, I'm sorry, sir, you can't do that. Or have you registered with the city, or are you, you know, where's your business card, show me who you are, or something like that, so.
So it is to a certain point dependent on the citizens.
Yes, definitely, yes.
So, let me ask you this, is there anything that protects us liability-wise? If that guy comes in here and pays the $25, and that doesn't guarantee he's not gonna skip town on someone, and the citizen says, hey, y'all vouched for this guy, saying that he was not gonna do that to me, and
no,
then,
we're not vouching for that gentleman. We're making him prove that he's insured, right, and providing us his contact information. It's done, this practice is done in, well, quite frankly, most towns and cities, just as a kind of a consumer protection idea. But as far as a liability on the city, we would have to get some clarification from Eileen at some point, but I do not believe that this puts the city in any liability other than we just want to know who's working in our town and that they're taking good care of our citizens.
Proof of insurance.
Yeah, proof of insurance is the big one.
And we can make that clear to the citizens, right?
Yes.
There's gonna be some confused.
Sure.
Yes, this is one of the things that, along with other things that we're trying to do, is getting more information out to the citizens. So we pass something like this, this is one of those deals where we go, hey, there's a new ordinance on file, and here's what it is, and put it on our Facebook page, put it on our city web page, and like that, do that
And
sort
you'll
of thing. Our
explain
newspaper
what
right
it's
here is
for.
a great resource for us, so I'm sure Nan will get that in the paper for us too, so.
Good.
You should let me go first.
Don't do that.
okay. So is there any more discussion on this? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to approve the change in ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
A second.
Okay, got a motion by Councilman Mann, second by Councilwoman Jolly. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Okay, that moves us to 9.6, consider and act upon setting specific dates for the City of Clyde splash pad opening and closing for each year. Mr. Brown?
This is something that, with the Hanna Sports Complex splash pad, and now with the, with the work that's going towards the Clyde City Park splash pad, just being able to have a season with an opening date and a closing date will allow us to promote that and also to give that information out there, again, get that out in the city. We looked at dates, and the dates that I'm put on here are just a general reference. Council decide if they want to go earlier, later, whatever. But looking at opening our splash pads on April the 1st, closing them on September the 30th, closing them down for the winter. But knowing that means that Brady, at the complex part of it, he'll know exactly when he needs to have his splash pad ready to go, open, everything treated, all fixes made and everything. Same thing with Public Works working on the splash pad at the city park. This will give us that opportunity to know, hey, by April 1st, you got to have everything done, not just leaving us to say, well, we're going to open it up in a couple of weeks, or we're going to open it up next month. This presents that hard date that we can just work with, whatever date y'all want. Again, we just went with April 1st because it gets us right into that springtime, gets us right after March. Hopefully we're out of bad weather and stuff. And then closing down when, school starts back up at the end of August and such. Give them that one more last hurrah in September and then close down for the winter. So it's just simply a thought to put a date on it if council wants.
Do we know when the splash pads in Abilene open and close?
About that time, I think.
I'm not exactly
I'm sorry.
certain on their dates. The general practice with splash pads is that you at least need to be open from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend. That's kind of the general practice across the United States, but being in Texas, we can go a little bit longer because we have warmer weather earlier and later.
Which is why we went ahead and went all the way through September instead of closing it at the beginning of September when Labor Day hits.
So, according to Abilene's website, they say their splash pad was reopening April 26th. I personally think that April 1st is a little early. I know we've had freezes.
Yeah.
Well, we usually have a bad spell around Easter, so.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say, a gardening, that doesn't quite fit gardening schedule.
Yeah, I mean.
And again, we threw numbers out there
Yeah.
for you guys to look at, so.
I would think May 1st would be more,
That's what I had too.
Be safe, it'd be a
May
safer bet.
yeah.
Through Labor Day weekend.
And, yeah, I mean, I don't know that it says when they close, but, I know a lot of the swimming pools and stuff seem like they close before school starts. Yeah, they don't mention,
When does Baird close their pool?
seemed like they closed it last week.
Yeah, it's
or
already
something.
closed.
Yeah, but they start school, I think they start school tomorrow,
They do.
so, I mean, I know it's not a hard set date, but a variable date, but I would say, I don't know if you can word it that, the weekend before school starts or
Well, the only thing about splash pads is usually that's for our younger children too, though.
True.
And our moms,
True.
they're taking 3, 4, sometimes 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Right, so the school schedule won't necessarily apply as much to a splash pad as it would a swimming pool.
Okay.
We do see people come after school also for a little while, so
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Me personally, I kinda like the September 30th end date, but I do agree with you on May 1st would be a safer
Yeah,
weather-wise bet.
right. Okay.
Just my opinion on it, but I think as warm as it stays here, and with the amount of youngsters we have that maybe aren't quite in school yet.
Okay. if we're done discussing that, we can do a motion and you can set the dates at however you feel.
I think May 1st is great.
Okay.
And September 30th, I think it's still plenty warm enough in the season.
So then, I would just put it out there and say that you make a motion to open the splash pad on May 1st and close it on September 30th.
I'll make a motion to open the splash pads on May 1st and to close them on September 30th.
I'll second it.
Okay, so motion by Councilman Mann, second by Councilwoman Jolly. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. So that will move us to 9.7, consider and act upon approving the Clyde EDC donating $20,000 to Clyde CISD for their training program. Mr. Brown.
Effectively, anything over $10,000 that the EDC spends has to be approved by city council. It's just the way that is set up. And we have partnered with Clyde School for a seniors program that they have, which tracks them and helps put them in positions after school for the seniors that get involved in this. It has allowed us to benefit, our students that way. It was a great turnout last year for the school. The school came before EDC board last meeting, not Monday this meeting, but the Monday before meeting, and requested that same thing, the $20,000 for this workforce initiative that they have. EDC agreed to give them that donation of $20,000. It just requires if council agrees or not, so.
Okay.
So this training actually helps with job placement?
Yes, and then tracking them afterwards too, as far as keeping up with them, helping them prepare for job placement after they graduate, and then also being able to see what they've done. Have they continued that process? Are they still employed? Are they working? A lot of different aspects of that for the seniors.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Brown?
Does it focus on placing jobs in Clyde?
Yes, but also, more of not the location job, but the skill of a job, which then may take them out of there.
Right.
Nursing, welding, jobs like that, so.
Okay.
Roger, these are high school graduates?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're talking about the one, you said nursing, you don't have the ones that get their CNA in school while they're in high school and then getting them placed in a position after?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, they've got a great nursing program at the high school, and for the students, for the seniors that are interested in doing this, it just helps them further their opportunities and their chances at better employment once they get out, so.
Any other questions for Mr. Brown? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Clyde EDC donating $20,000 to Clyde CISD.
I'll make a motion that we approve the EDC donating the $20,000 to Clyde CISD.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Councilman Rector, second by Councilman Mann. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. 9.8, consider and act upon approving the Clyde EDC donating $120,000 to the city of Clyde for construction of a road at the Hanner Sports Complex. Mr. Brown.
Okay, so the main reason for council being involved in this again is that $10,000 limit that council has to approve if EDC does it. What the $120,000 goes to is the road construction from the South Access Road into the Hanner Sports Complex. This is something that the city was doing originally with our contract that was pushed back a couple of times because of changes in construction and then the way that the complex actually wound up facing. So right now, the main thing is that school is fixing to start back up, and the only access into Hanner Sports Complex is through the high school parking lot and north of the cafeteria and gym, which as bus drivers, we know creates quite a bit of traffic. It causes problems for safety issues with the school, also financial with the school. The roads, just there's a lot of traffic that goes in and out of there based just on the city side for tournaments, for games, for Little League, for all those kind of things. This is something that was supposed to have been done originally in the contract. It didn't get done. Now, 2 years later, the school is really needing us off of that property. This makes that happen right away. So EDC making a donation. I did see that somebody had asked a question about how would the city pay this back. It's a donation to the city for the road construction. It's donated for that purpose, road construction. All that entire $120,000 goes towards road construction. So.
Roger, is that enough to do it?
Ma'am?
Is that enough to build it?
It is enough to get us where we need right now. Would we like a better road? We'd like a better road, but this gets us a road into the complex. Yes, ma'am.
Just gonna be caliche?
It will be to start with, yes. To get with school starting on the 20th. This is we started and stopped a couple of times, and that's where we're at right now. So.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be done.
Yeah.
That's a zoo over there.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions for Mr. Brown?
I've got a question, Roger.
Yes.
Will the school traffic be using that road at any time?
Thinking real nicely how to answer this question.
Send them the bill.
Since they control the gate to getting past the stadium, they can choose whether they use it or not, or allow traffic through, but I know they're installing a gate.
Well, here's the most important thing. One, the city of Clyde and the Clyde Consolidated Independent School District are great partners. We have a great relationship with the school system, and we want to continue that. With that in mind, again, they've let us slide for 2 years on something that should have been done immediately. With that said, talking to Brian Allen, the superintendent, and Rhonda, the CFO, just last week about this very thing, we know that some of our traffic, by that I mean the public that is not going to the school UIL function, is still going to wind up slipping through there and using their area. With that same thought in mind, I'd be willing to bet that you will have people who maybe live a little bit to the west of the complex, but they go to school in Clyde and they're coming to a high school baseball game, and they see it's just an easier way to come in that back section. Are we going to stand out there and flag them down and tell them they're not allowed? No, we're not going to do that. Again, that cooperation and that consideration for each other is the relationship we want to maintain. Now, we will do the best we can to make sure people, and this includes signage that we'll be putting up out there, stating that for the school side of it, we will state that the only access to Hannah Sports Complex is through this access point on the South Access Road. There's too many accesses there, I get it. That's where the main entrance will be. On the same token there, we will put signs up on the South Access Road that says UIL entrance or school entrance should be had over there off of Hayes Road. Whether people choose to read signs and or obey them, completely different story.
There are times of the year when the stadium isn't used, correct?
The football stadium or the sports complex?
The sports complex.
There are, of course, our goal in life with that sports complex is to have that thing, at least 46 weekends out of the year. And that's not just baseball and softball. There are other things. I don't know if anybody heard the commercial that the Abilene Gladiators will be using our football field, our utility field. That will be their football field. Yeah, that's their home, that'll be their home field.
So that's not a rumor.
That's not a rumor. Heard it on the radio today.
I heard that, but I thought that was a rumor.
Yeah. Brady, do you have anything on, have they even talked to you about it? I'm gonna get our Parks Development guy here on that tomorrow to make sure, but yeah, we heard that on the radio today, that they'll be using the Hanner Sports Complex field, so we'll check on that in the morning.
They used it last year.
They did. It was their home
Maybe
field
they
last year too, their
assume
football
they
game.
still
So,
got it.
Really
Yeah.
good surface.
I was just gonna mention that there are school activities like choir and theater and things like that where, I mean, it gets packed there.
Yes, ma'am.
Every grandmother, every grandfather, every aunt and uncle, they all bring their own cars. So they've got to get through to the areas in the school where their kiddos are.
Yes.
It will be used, I'm
Yes.
sure it will be used.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So,
Okay. Any other discussion on this? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this donation by Clyde EDC.
I'll make a motion for Clyde EDC to donate the $120,000 to the construction of the new access road.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Councilwoman Jolly, second by Councilman Mann. All those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously. Brings us to 9.9, consider and act upon changing the name of the Clyde Community Park. Mr. Brown.
Okay, so, and this is written Clyde Community Park, that's actually listed as Clyde City Park, so officially it's Clyde City Park. For citizens, this is the park across from the nursing home on Stevens Street. It has been kind of brought up and it's been bannered around and talked about changing the name from Clyde City Park, and honestly, there's no particular reason it was named Clyde City Park. When we built the park a while back, we needed to call it something, and it was in the city of Clyde. Simple. So, there's just been a lot of discussion about changing it, and there's no name set yet. This is a discussion for council. Is it something you want to entertain? So some of the ideas are something like Clyde Bulldog Park, a little bit more of a tie-in to our sports mascot, our school. We do that a lot with pretty much everything. It's Bulldog Nation. You can see it on our water tank, the great big Clyde Bulldog up there. Bulldog Nation is a term that was brought up a few years ago by one of our beloved coaches and / principal, Coach Wilson. And so this just, the thought behind it is to kind of give that ownership to our kids, to our younger people or our older people who feel like they're Bulldogs. So we haven't set a name. Again, Clyde Bulldog Park, Clyde Bulldog City. It could be any number of things. The main thing is, does council, and especially we've got such a great crowd here tonight. Thank y'all for being here. I would literally ask, what do y'all think? What do our citizens think? Has anybody got a big problem with?
I thought it's called Clyde Memorial Park.
We a few years ago, a board that we had that is not quite currently still in effect, but a board that we had called the Clyde Memorial Garden Board, that group of individuals did build that, or had people who volunteer, who donated everything that's out there that you see. Where it says Clyde Memorial Garden, there is the hope of continuing that into an actual memorial garden type of part of Clyde City Park. So no, it's not, or never was named the Clyde Memorial Park or Clyde Memorial Garden Park. It's always, since conception, been Clyde City Park, but we do have a memorial facet of it. Ms. Branton?
I love Clyde Community Park.
That
I
sounds
love-
good to me.
I love that Clyde is a community. It takes a
Name for the
community to
state.
take care of a community. And I just love Clyde Community Park. I love our community here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I vote for that. I know I can't vote, but yeah.
The primary thought behind it, and talking with some of the committee and all that, was every child in Clyde currently is a Bulldog. Everybody that went to school here and still lives here was a bulldog, right?
Still a bulldog.
Some of the citizens some of the kids that did not go to school here.
I'm sorry?
What about some of the kids that did not go to school here, that are not bulldogs?
That maybe utilize the park too, you mean?
That want to utilize the park. Or some of the, you
Well,
know,
there
like
would-
me,
there would-
I'm not, I came here, I'm from New Mexico, and I came here during the summer
Okay,
with my uncles, you know.
right.
And you know, what about people like that? That's
Well,
not a bulldogs, that comes here during the summer from out of state,
Nothing would preclude them from using it.
you know?
Yeah.
But they're not bulldogs.
I think
But
they
they
might.
want to use it, and they want to be included in the community.
Yeah.
But they don't want to be, but they don't want to be called bulldogs, because they're out of state. They don't
I
want-
personally-
But they want to be included in the community.
Right. I
You understand what I'm saying?
I personally like the idea of the community
You know?
park versus city park belongs to the city, community park belongs to the community. I understand the bulldogs, and the bulldog's good, but, I mean, everything's
Well,
a
I can
bulldog
understand
too,
you want
so.
to be a bulldog.
Community means everybody, so.
Yeah, they want to
We could
include
put a
everybody,
bulldog there. We
even
could
for
put a
people
bulldog
that
back.
from out of
Absolutely,
state,
yeah.
from
Well,
out
just-
of town.
One of the names being bandied around was Bulldog Community Park.
I like that.
I mean, that was one of the names thrown
That's what I
out there.
meant.
And again,
Yeah.
we haven't, you know, council hasn't, Connie or I, in putting this together, nobody's come up with a name. At this point, I mean, now I'm just kind of throwing this out there. Why don't we have one of them naming type things? Why don't we do a great big production of asking the citizens, hey, what do y'all think? What do y'all like? Pick a certain, you know, pick 4 or 5 names and then let's, you know, work from there. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, everybody's a Cowboy fan, why not call it Cowboy Park?
I'm not a Cowboy fan.
I think you say, you're gonna have to be real careful about saying everybody.
Well, I'm not a bull, I mean, I didn't go to CCISD, but I don't mind the name. I guess I'm an honorary bulldog just by living here.
No, I didn't go to school here, but I'm.
Well, and Bulldog community, I mean, you know,
Kinda
that's
covers
gotta.
both ends.
Bulldog green. Oh, look at me. Some words.
Well, again,
We've got the memorial wall there right now. I know at one time, we even talked about, I was on the city council with Roger when we built Clyde City Park. We got together and we got a grant from the LCRA and I believe the Texas Wildlife
yeah.
to help pay for that.
And,
And we never had a formal naming or anything like that. There was even a group of student council kids from Clyde High School that came and they'd been to a leadership camp. And they came up with some ideas. Now, some of them were good ideas. Some of them were out there. I mean, you know, they were grand dreams, and I didn't think that that stuff would ever happen. But I happened to ask one of the students that was on that committee when I saw this on the deal. And I asked him what he thought about changing it to Bulldog Park or something like that. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said, it's the park of the city of Clyde, not the school. If someone wants to put a statue of a bulldog as a mascot, that would be fine, but it'll always be Clyde City Park to me. Now with the wall, I'm kind of in my mind thinking the city of Clyde Memorial Garden Park. And we've already got the sign on the wall.
That's right.
And if somebody wants to put a big statue of a bulldog at the playground or in the front, I mean, I don't have a problem
So-
with
I don't
it.
either.
And I'm a
That'd be
school guy. I worked for Clyde's, ISD for 12 years. And I guess that makes me a graduate since I was here for 12 years. If I didn't fail one of those years, but I picked up on some of the things about the community. To me, when that committee got together on the memorial wall, that was to recognize not only military, but the citizens of Clyde that laid the foundation for this community. And some of those people may not have been Bulldogs.
So,
I mean, but they were part of this community.
so
So,
with all that being said.
I mean,
No.
I'll throw that out. I
Yeah,
know that's kind of
absolutely.
long, but we already got it on the wall.
But,
Yeah, we already got the sign out there, so what's
So-
the money for building that sign?
so here's from the committee standpoint, the park committee that has started. Their hopes is to go a lot further with that park than what it is now and really make it something special. In order to do that, there's gonna have to be some fundraising done and maybe even some sponsorships done. So that was kind of the thought of turning it back to a, it's catchy, it shows the community, but good points on the other names as well. You know, right now, the city does not have the money to go in there and do what needs to be done to our park, quite honestly. That's just the facts. So, you know, we don't have to make a decision today on
Exactly.
anything. I know that they were looking at starting a 501c3 to help with the park. That will not take place until we can decide on a name, because you have to have a name before you apply for the 501c3. Just so everybody's aware. If we need to kick this down the road a little bit, have some more discussions, that's fine. But it will slow things a little bit until we can all come to a consensus.
That sounds good to me.
I mean, the ownership of the park is still gonna stay with the city. I don't know where the
Right.
name
I
and
have
all
a
that.
suggestion.
It's a way to sell sponsorships at the park.
Understand.
So if somebody else has a better idea, I am 1000% all ears.
I will say, if I may,
Yeah.
that I think we do need to choose a name, or you need to choose a name soon so that you can get that 501c, because it's gonna take money. You've already started the fundraising, and we need to do it right.
A lot of good people that are involved in that. And
It's a good committee.
Roger, I was thinking that we could actually do fundraiser or even splash pad fundraiser as part of this and use them, that everybody has a name and they pay $5, and if their name is chosen, then, great, they have bragging rights, but the money.
Like a raffle.
The money would go to either the splash pad or the memorial garden. Actually building a garden there would be nice.
Absolutely.
And it would be the funds to do that.
That's a great idea for a fundraiser, even if you just charge people X amount of dollars to suggest a name.
Well, sign out a little card thing that everybody has and, this is my name. And
I think I think the Booster Club just did that they had 3 options to kind of raise for the little walk-through
Yeah,
tunnel
for the
and all
tunnel,
that. And you paid $5 to say, I'm voting for this name, or $5 or this option, and $5
Yeah.
for this, and then fundraising plus you kind of get a
Yeah.
say in it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that might be something that we could
Well, wrote down a bunch of the names that have been talked about out here, and I'm just thinking right now. Obviously, there's no way we make a choice on this right now. So let's it's great, and thank y'all so much for being a part of getting involved in how this works. That's awesome. And council for bringing it up, you know. So let's take this one and work on it a little bit more and then figure out what to bring back.
Okay. So, no action will be taken on 9.9. And that will move us to 9.10, consider and act upon approving the school resource officer contract with the Clyde Consolidated Independent School District.
We've worked really well with the school. Again, Chief Barnes has been over there with us, Brian Allen and Rhonda. Last year, we had 2 resource officers at the school. This year, the school has decided to take their safety and security in a little bit different direction, which for the city means that they're only requiring 1 school resource officer now instead of the 2. And then they're taking on their own part of it that way. All this right here does is just, this is the contract that we've gone to the school, we've hammered out all the details, changing it from 2 to 1. Almost nothing else changed, anything other than how much time is gonna be spent at each campus and what the officer is actually gonna be required to do in checking the doors. A lot of the things that the new safety and security person that they've hired will alleviate some of the responsibility of the school resource officer. And that's just lined out in the contract, that you have a copy of the contract here. So, but we just need council to either approve or not approve the contract with the school resource, well, with the school about the resource officer, so.
Well, and I know one thing I brought up, that I saw in theirs was on that first page, the organization structure. It specifically mentions the requirements set forth by city and Clyde Police Department rules and regulations for the 2018-2019 school year. Someone felt.
I read this so many times, I didn't even see that.
So, I mean, and looking back, I mean, even the schools signed off on this thing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to get that changed.
Well, whoever makes a motion one way or the other, make it with the recommendation of the amended contract to signify 25-26 school year.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on this contract?
Chief, is this contract basically the same one that we've used in years past?
Correct. Obviously, we used it in 18.
We've all looked over it, we're all okay with it.
When y'all hire, or do you hire and the city hire the school resource officer with input from the school, or do you just hire one and say, okay, you're gonna be the school resource officer?
Correct, it's our decision on who's the employee, and the school helps fund the employee.
Okay.
They do a portion of it.
Any other questions for Chief Barnes or Mr. Brown or?
And then that officer during the summers, he works for you?
Precisely, yes.
Well, he was really working for you the whole time, but
Correct.
working for the city.
Correct, exactly.
I think that's where some of the breakdown in salaries paid. School pays 75% and the city pitches
Yeah.
in the other
But
25.
it's a good opportunity for them to go to the conferences and go to their school trainings, to keep them on the campuses during the year, and then during the summer, that's when nationally and statewide, they schedule all their training during the summer. So yes and no.
That's the way I was actually at the school when we started this.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I really do. I appreciate you working with the school to have that presence there. but it takes a special police officer to be a school resource officer.
There's 1,400 kids. 3,800 residents and 1,400 kids.
Yeah, I understand. It's,
Okay. Any other questions for Chief Barnes, Mr. Brown?
Crazy math.
I will entertain a motion, and Mike, permit me to change the school year there.
I make a motion that we approve the school resource officer contract with the change of date from 2018, 2019 to 2025 through 2026.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so motion by Councilman Rector, second by Councilwoman Jolly. All those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously. Moves us to 9.11, 9.11. Consider and act upon ordering an election for the general election of November 4th, 2025.
Yeah, we'll let Ms. Connie take care of it.
Ms. Connie?
Something by the law that I have to do, I have to order an election every year, and then depending on, final day to sign up is Monday to run for one slot for mayor, two openings for council members. And depending on who we get to sign up and how many we sign up for each position will determine if we have an election or not. But I have to call for the election every year.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think so, unless you got any other questions.
I'll make a motion that we recommend to go ahead and order the election.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. So a motion by Councilman Mann, second by Councilwoman Jolly. All those in favor? Okay, that passes unanimously. Moves us to 9.12, consider and act upon adopting an ordinance outlawing abortion, declaring Clyde a sanctuary city for the unborn, making various provisions and findings, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Last month, Mark Lee Dixon came to council and presented this information, a lot of information concerning Sanctuary City for the Unborn. We had some citizens who stood up and voiced their opinions on it too, so we had some citizen input. And, you know, that kind of happened pretty fast, so we wanted council to have an opportunity to look at this, to see over everything, read over everything, see if there was anything else that came up from the citizens. Basically, council's had a month now to give consideration how they want to proceed. So at this time, we'll decide whether or not this wants to become an ordinance.
Okay. Any questions on this?
You know, just, I'll make a brief little statement on it. You know, I think it's a good thing. The only thing, I mean, with there being no enforcement by local authorities, it is truly a symbolic ordinance, right? But I still think it's good to go ahead and profess that we are and go from there.
She says no.
It's not symbolic. It is, the mechanism is private enforcement. So while it's, you don't,
I mean, it's symbolic from our
yes,
standpoint,
y'all
right?
give. yeah,
From an
yeah, that's
enforcement
right.
standpoint.
Good.
That's
I mean,
all I
I
meant.
think you got it, but.
I did, but
just
thank
to
you
make
for
sure.
saying that right. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question that goes along with this. Does it provide for a pregnancy center within Clyde where the mom can go and get help? A loving care can't handle everything, you know, they handle a lot, but a pregnancy center would give the moms, if nothing else, camaraderie with some of the ladies in the community that help these young mamas.
Yeah.
And they give them, you know, they collect clothing, make sure it's nice and clean.
Yeah. This,
Nothing that stops it.
Food
yeah,
and-
yeah. This particular ordinance has absolutely nothing to do with that part of it, whether or not anybody wanted to put up something or help people, that's not the issue there. This is more, again, of declaring the city that, a lot of things that are already currently exactly what they are. We don't allow abortions, we don't have abortion clinic, we don't have any of that. So to a certain extent, that's what Councilman Mann was referencing. A lot of this, although not symbolic by nature of what it means outside and long ways down, doesn't affect us as a city, other than to say, we understand, we agree with this process. Yeah, we will acknowledge this, claim our city to be this particular sanctuary city, which then allows for, down the road, further ability to handle situations that come up far beyond the little city of Clyde's part of that, so.
I just think if you offer support to these young mamas, they're going to be less praised
Yeah.
about unexpected pregnancy.
And that's great, This doesn't make that happen or deny that from happening. Certainly as a community, as a city, as a Christian, as a group of just, I love my neighbor, we ought to be doing that anyway. So, okay, hold on, Ms. Brent.
There used to be a place over on Second and Archer, a woman's pregnancy center over there. I don't know whatever happened to it.
The Haven or
I
something.
went there and got
Yeah.
chewed out
Yeah.
by me in there.
I don't know whatever happened to it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
You know, and they used to help pregnant women.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was, I understand from a couple of women, because I used to live right there on Archer and Third Street,
Okay.
that old beat-up trailer there. And there are a couple of women, when I sat out there, they talked to me and they seemed like it was a good place, but like I said, I don't know what happened to it.
It isn't
I
that.
can answer that. I was part of that, the Haven.
Oh, yeah, that's the name of it,
Yes,
the Haven.
and we were pregnant, and we taught classes, and we provided the things, and I think that would be a great community thing. It doesn't have to do with this ordinance, but Faye, perhaps we need to do that again. What happened to it is people age, people go different directions, people move, and, we just, it was not it was a season, and I agree with you, Faye, that as a community, we need to come together and provide that again. It has nothing to do with this,
That's-
but I do agree with you,
Oh, I see
Faye,
what he's saying.
that we need to do that. So perhaps you and I and anyone else, that would like to be involved, would like, we need nurses to teach classes, social workers. I'm retired from those fields, and maybe there are other, but just people that
But
care.
It seemed like they did kinda help pregnant
We
women.
did,
And
that
they
was
were-
our,
And the two women I talked to, they seemed like they were happy with what y'all did.
yes,
You know,
yes,
and-
yes.
But I don't know whatever happened to that
Well,
place.
life circumstances happen to
Yeah.
us, and, but we do, you know, and it would be, but it has nothing to do
Yeah, I know.
with
Yeah,
this.
has nothing to
So
do
we
with what
can
we're working on
discuss
right now.
that.
Yeah.
We can discuss that later as a community.
But I wish there
Absolutely.
was a place like that to help pregnant women.
Okay,
We're
let's,
gonna do that again.
let's try to get back on track.
Okay, I'm
and-
sorry.
and talk- and
Yes.
talk about this ordinance. And I think we've discussed it. If y'all are ready to, make a motion, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Okay? And a motion
Could I speak up to this ordinance?
sh- I mean, you can, if you'd like, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to very much. I'm from Cisco, and so we did pass this ordinance in 2021. And so I would like to explain a little bit about why we did that. Do I need to use this microphone or?
No, ma'am, just,
Name and address, please.
Ruth York, 2301 County Road 169 in system.
Thank you.
Yes, the reason we wanted to do that was to protect our young people, well, not just young people, any lady who's pregnant, because there are some, abortion is not a safe option. And of course, to protect the unborn life. And this actually does that. This is an enforceable law. And you have the opportunity tonight to pass one that can actually extend what the state of Texas has done. So like tonight, looking at your agenda, you have taken something that you already had in place and saw that due to changes of circumstances or an understanding of a need, you have made a change to an ordinance. You've enhanced it. Well, the state of Texas has passed a lot of pro-life laws, which is great. But the abortion industry finds ways around those. There is so much pressure, given our culture today. A lot of these women find themselves under a lot of pressure to abort. In fact, there's currently a case that was filed, I believe it was Corpus Christi, about a young woman who became pregnant, and the father was pressuring her to abort. And she said, no, this is a lie. I'm not going to do that. He actually poisoned her drink and caused an abortion using medical medicines, right? So that is now in the courts. Now, I'm not saying that that's related to this law, but it is related to Texas laws. The thing is that people find ways around the Texas laws, and they don't cover all circumstances. So by, again, taking the action you've already taken tonight to enhance the laws that are already on the books, you can actually make Texas a more pro-life state in your community. So it does things that you've already read the ordinance, but for anybody that would like to understand a little bit more about it, it does prohibit an elective abortion and aiding and abetting somebody to have an elective abortion, like in the case of that father who caused the abortion of his own child. That is definitely aiding and aborting and performing, an elective abortion without a medical license. Elective abortions on residents of this town is prohibited. That means that if they go somewhere else, not within your city limits, they can, whoever aids and abets in that can still be prosecuted. So that's an important thing because most, like you say, you don't have abortions here, other than maybe a medical abortion. That's illegal, but if somebody's shipping drugs in, it could still happen. But say they go to New Mexico, then that you could still prosecute that abortionist in New Mexico for performing an abortion on a resident of Clyde. It's enforceable, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a moment. It would stop abortion trafficking through the city, so your streets become no-goes for somebody who is trafficking a woman to New Mexico or Kansas, Colorado. They could not use your streets legally. Again, you don't have to enforce it. Once you pass the law, it does become illegal and enforceable, just not by you. It prohibits the mailing of abortion-inducing drugs into your city or being passed around, provided to others. It prohibits criminal organizations from operating in your city. Now, what's that doing here? There are organizations that promote abortion and have been declared criminal organizations. That's what they're all about, is encouraging people and enabling people to get abortions, such as paying for their transportation to out-of-state locations. Well, they would be prohibited from setting up shop here, passing out literature in your school, things like that. The transportation or disposal of the remains of unborn children who've been aborted. Astonishingly, the unborn medical waste, as they call it, from Planned Parenthoods and other facilities in California and New Mexico, Kansas, are being brought back into Texas and disposed of here, not in Clyde, and we hope that is never, ever thought of here, But this would be a way to prohibit that from ever becoming a concern. That somebody might say, look, you've got 30 acres over here, I'm going to set up a waste disposal plant. And yes, we're going to handle aborted babies. If you have this ordinance in place, that's prohibited. So, again, some of those things you think, it's not gonna happen in Clyde, it doesn't happen here, so we don't have to pass this. But there are provisions here that, again, close the gaps left by the state of Texas. And by taking those actions tonight, you can strengthen the laws of Texas and make abortion not an option for the residents of your city. So then, talking about enforcement, if it's enforceable, how is it enforced if the city of Clyde doesn't do it? And as was mentioned, it's done by citizens. When you think about it, a lot of these abortions happen when a woman is not known to be pregnant. Nobody knows unless it's people close to her. Maybe like the father or a grandmother, perhaps. They would be the ones who would be aware and would be able to say, look, dear, if you go out of state, we can sue the person who drove you there. And so that enables people close to the situation to be able to step in and prosecute people who are aiding and abetting the abortion of these babies, say in New Mexico. So it's a very powerful tool that, again, steps in where the state of Texas has left a gap. And these are some of the gaps that exist currently in the law. We'd like to see the state of Texas close those, but in the meantime, tonight, you can do that. And
Thank you, Ms. Short.
I would love to see you do that.
Thank you. Okay, back to this. I've got a motion by Councilman Mann. I'll entertain a second on that. Okay, got a second by Councilman Rector. All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
81st in the nation, or 81st in the state of Texas and 63rd in the nation, or 64th, sorry. Yes.
All right, that brings us to our 10.0 executive session. We're going to convene in a closed meeting pursuant to provisions of Chapter 551, Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes annotated in accordance with the authority contained in Government Code 551.074, personnel matters concerning the city administrator position. Thank y'all for being here. Probably will be a lengthy session, closed meeting, so if y'all want to hang out, y'all are more than welcome, but we're in closed session now.
She wants